going over what projects to complete, starting from easy, medium to hard difficulty. We agreed on going with the Accountant AI powered financial assistant, where you upload a PDF, whether it's a tax return, audit, or financial statement, and the app extracts, processes, and summarizes it. The AI will handle the calculations, discrepancies, and follow-up questions about the document. So like I mentioned, the user uploads a PDF. The app then extracts the key figures, line items, and dates. The AI will summarize the findings and then have a calculation engine verifying totals, cross-checking across the tax rules. So in doing so, what makes it a more medium difficulty was the API integration with an AI tool, as well as financial accuracy and validation. So the team structure was project manager being myself, in charge of the SRS ownership, meeting notes, timeline, task tracking, and proposal submission. Software engineer number one was Kundan, who was working on the front end and the Java FX. Mohammed was working on the back end and APIs. Ramon was doing the database and integration. And Gabrielle was working on the QA and UAT testing, as well as just going over any updates with documentation. So project requirements includes Java FX desktop application, full stack architecture, Django, Firebase, or Spring Boot, creating an SRS proposal, GitHub collaboration, AI integration, and web apps and mobile apps were not allowed. This kind of just goes over that a little bit more in depth, with front end being Java FX, back end database Firebase, AI was either OpenAI Claude, and then storage was Firebase storage. Here are the features we decided to agree on. Core features being the import and download PDF documents, export documents to PDF, CSV, Word docs, or Excel, document preview or search, document processing and metadata extraction, and then AI-powered document summarization, with future enhancements being an API provider, version history, role-based permissions, OCR scanner, or cloud storage. So that was us kicking off the project. And if Ramon, you want to take it away with what you worked on for the database side.
Yep. With the user down for the register create user, and then also to insert it into the database.
Over to Kundan. If Kundan, you want to take over.
Yeah, I work mostly on the front end. So using the Java FX, I have created the so this is the app I have created using the Java FX. Here we can enter the username, password. So we can also see who is logged in here in the header. And we have delete option. We can add the file. If we mistakenly upload the wrong file, we can delete it. And I also added the logout feature. So we can log out here. And I have also created the create account feature with full username, first and last name, email. So I also put some of the debugging work. So I added the back to login feature. So if we want to go back to login, if user has already the account, they can go back. If they don't add the account, they can create the one. So, yeah, that's all I was working the whole time. And I also did some backend stuff.
Okay.
So that's all from my side. Yeah.
Mohammed, do you want to maybe share what you worked on for your API integration?
Yeah, so pretty much I did this right here, just kind of like the AI document AI config and service right there. I worked on this. For default model, I just went for GPT-4o mini and I put the endpoint right here and I also put it so in case it runs out of there's an API limit, you can also kind of run it locally. So I implemented that as well. And also, what's it called? I worked on a couple on the backend stuff and pretty much just finalized everything. So this is another part of the document AI analysis right here. And this is pretty much how it analyzes all the information. This right here is, let me see if I get it. This is service for the AI as well. So it has a local fallback that it uses in case the API, like I said, doesn't work. So that's why I decided to go over this. So instead of having an error or just not working, it would instead go for a different route. And obviously, it's not going to be as good as an actual LLM, but it would be somewhat similar and give an actual response. And aside from that, I pretty much just finalized most of these things. I worked on the back end and I found some bugs and issues that I fixed. I also you go right here, see if I can find it. I also fixed the PDF import service as well. It kind of made it better. And aside from that, aside from the AI analysis thing, the main stuff I was just working on was that and just pretty much finding bugs and improving all the other stuff that I did because some of the other stuff that I did, like the export data, the import result, they had some issues that could have been better. So I went ahead and improved those. And yeah, that's pretty much like what I did.
Very good. All right. And then Gabrielle, if you want to end off with showing your contribution.
Yep. The QA tester. And basically, what I did was I would just write documents and miscellaneously test the project to make sure everything was working. And, the last thing I did was an end to end test where I wrote all this. But the other thing I worked on was the Figma prototypes. So here was the low fidelity one with the features that we wanted. Not everything ended up making it, but it ended up being pretty close to the final result. This is the high fidelity one. It's pretty similar, but it has more detail. So we got most of these set. No, yeah, we got most of these settings, but not these. But we got a lot of stuff up here, and yeah, I can compare it to the actual app here. So I'm gonna do just a just like a user workflow real quick. So they'd log in. I'll be using the test account. One, two, three. Then this is what you'd see. The things that weren't able to be made were the Google Drive and cloud integration, stuff like that, version control, API settings, role based permissions, but a lot of it did manage to get in. So you click on a document, or here you can upload a PDF. I'll just do another one really quick. I'll just do the same one, and then it displays the contents. Over here, you can search for specific keywords. So we could do like just type date, and it'll say all that. And document there is the I believe the AI summary. So there's that. You can export PDF. As you can see, it does the PDF, the C the CSV, and it does the Excel. And you can also log out. Create account also works. Yeah, that's basically everything for that, I believe.
Okay, perfect. And before we end off, could we maybe share the GitHub repo just so we can kind of see the contributions of our total commits? Just for the professor to see because I know he wants to look at this. And then here is our network graph. There it is. So good job, everyone. Thank you all for your hard work on this project, and I hope to hear from you guys.
Same here. Thank everybody for working together and pulling through at the end right there.
If anybody else has anything else, that would be all. And best of luck for the rest of your college years.
Yep.
Best of luck, everyone.
Take care, guys.
Thank you, guys. Nice
Take
to
care,
have you
guys.
all.
Nice to meet you.